Hi everyone, it's Gary here, and a warm welcome back to the fourth official here on YouTube for our Blue Nose Bulletin for Monday, the 28th of October 2024. And we're just 24 hours removed from Rangers with a 2-1 victory at Ibrox over St Mirren. And what a hard job it was for Rangers yesterday. After beating FCSB on Thursday night in the Europa League, I think everyone was going into the game yesterday wondering what Rangers were going to turn up, whether it was going to be the kind of free-flowing abandon of the European side or the kind of turgid, slow-paced Scottish Premiership side we saw last weekend at Kilmarnock. And I'm afraid to say it was another one of those really kind of sticky days where Rangers really had to dig in to pick up the 3 points and remain within touching distance of the top two in the table, who also won at the weekend. So the 6 points gap still remains at the top of the Scottish Premiership, and Rangers now move on to Pittodrie on Wednesday night for what looks like an absolutely vital game in terms of this league campaign, because I don't think anyone could have envisaged the possibility of going 9 points behind Aberdeen before you hit November, given where both teams finished last season. But that's where we currently are, and certainly Aberdeen will be smelling blood and looking forward to the game on Wednesday night, as they're going into it full of confidence, full of momentum, and this Rangers side at the moment certainly appears to be struggling a little bit in terms of form and fitness, and just having that kind of general drive to put games to bed, particularly domestically. But let's give the manager a little bit of praise, because his halftime change to bring on Cyril Dessers to replace the ineffective Hamza Igaman at half time certainly encouraged Rangers for a better second half performance. Not that that would have been difficult, given how sticky and turgid that first half performance were. However, Rangers were able to get over the line with the winner coming once again from Czech winger Václav Černý. And that's 3 goals in a week now for Černý after his double against FCSB on Thursday night in the Europa League. And he certainly was one of a few plus points in the game yesterday. But sponsors man of the match went to Belgian midfielder Nico Raskin, who continues his renaissance in the middle of the Rangers midfield. Certainly linking up well alongside Connor Barron, providing a bit of energy, a bit of guile in that area. Mohamed Diamande moving up one to the number 10 position in the absence of the injured Tom Lawrence. And it was Diamande who picked up the opening goal after a strike from Nico Raskin was fumbled by the St Mirren goalkeeper, and Diamande was on hand to poke it home for the opener. It's something we need to see an awful lot more from the Ivorian midfielder. Diamande hasn't been in his best form at all at the beginning of this season, but in that kind of number 10 position, an area where he played a bit of last season, he does have a goal in him, and hopefully with a bit more of a kind of stable base behind them, with Barron and Rashkin kind of double pivot essentially in the kind of number 6 number 8 position. It gives Diamande a little bit more freedom to try and express himself a little bit and get a little bit closer to the striker, which anyone that's watched Rangers over the course of this season will know getting bodies closer to that lone striker has been a bit of a challenge, especially with the absence of Tom Lawrence, who's been playing that number 10 position pretty much all season. So we'll see what happens in terms of the team news for Pittodrie on Wednesday night. Nothing given away by Philippe Clement in his post-match comments in terms of who will be fit for Wednesday night, but one player who certainly will come back into the reckoning will be Yanis Hadji, who will have completed his 2-match suspension at the weekend. So an extra body in terms of a bit of creative guile, and I would expect to see Hadji involved in the 20-man squad on Wednesday night. Another player, hopefully, that should be back will be John Souttar, who missed the game yesterday, rested by the manager after carrying what was said to be a bit of a knock. But given the performance of both Leon Balogun and particularly Robin Proper at the back, who were given a torrid time by the St Mirren striker Tolosi Olasanya, who was all over them like a rash for the whole 90 minutes yesterday. I think whatever it takes to get John Souttar fit for Wednesday night will be needed. Proper and Balogun certainly didn't look a strong partnership at the back, and Olasanya was all over them. He gave them no end of trouble for the whole game. Was unfortunate with a really well timed run that he was just offside for a goal that was there. A good save from Jack Butland elsewhere as well, and it was his kind of pace and power that kind of led to St Mirren really not allowing the Rangers defence to settle too much in the game. Another player who I would expect to come back into the starting lineup will be James Tavernier, who was dropped to the substitutes bench yesterday with Narecio Cashanviro coming in for his first Ibrox start. And to be fair to Cashanviro, he did fairly well in a kind of right back position without getting too involved too much. He had one opportunity in the first half where a shot kind of from the edge of the box kind of hit the top of the crossbar. And he was neat and tidy, and after Proper was substituted on the hour mark, he moved into a centre back position, and that may well be an option for him going forward if Tavernier is restored to the starting lineup. Full coverage of the Rangers Aberdeen game to come here on the fourth official recording tonight, alongside Glenn Schroeder from the Red Tinted Glasses podcast. We'll be filming the kickoff show for you on that one. And if you want to hear more about yesterday's match against St Mirren, myself and Mitch were on the post match, which will be dropping on our Patreon later on this morning. As always, a big thank you to everyone for hitting that subscribe button here on the YouTube channel. Loads coming up over the next few days with the Aberdeen game, and also coming very, very soon, the launch of the 50 Best Rangers Strikers series here on YouTube. As always, thanks for watching. I'll speak to you next time. Goodbye.